Hello Winehavers, my name is Jesse Meekum from You Need a Budget. Yes, you do. And this is another Whiteboard Wednesday. And I felt like we had gotten away from the norm where we had a y-axis and an x-axis. So I brought one back. I want to talk today about the budget meeting and really what I am calling, as of right now, the budget touch. So the glance, where you look at it. And really, we're talking about frequency with which you manage your money. Bear with me here. To our graph, we've got anxiety on the y-axis, money anxiety. You're worried, you're stressed, you feel out of control. A lot of people come to YNAB, and that's what they're dealing with, right? They're stressed. Then you have frequency with which, or I should say the number of times, how often, let's go with how often you interact with your budget in a meaningful, productive way. So this is productive interactions. And then as you slide along this axis, the interactions perhaps become less productive. But let's just call this interactions with the budget. One interaction, we do it monthly. We suggest basically whenever you have a large or a material amount of money that needs to be given jobs, where you're going to ask yourself, what should this money do before I'm paid again? That might end up being a little bit of a budget meeting. Once you've aged your money about 30 days and you're spending effectively, money that's 30 days old, you can move to what we like and recommend, which is the monthly process. It's not too frequent, but it's not so infrequent that you forget that you actually should budget, and it's important. So, back to the graph. This section here, this is the I feel so good section. This is like when your brain is full of things you have to do, so you write it all down on a piece of paper and suddenly you just feel better. You haven't crossed off a single item on your list, but just purging your brain, just releasing all of that, helps you feel good. A lot of times when people just set up their budget, whether they have $100, $1,000, what does this money have to do before I'm paid again? They break it all up. They haven't even stuck to their budget yet. For all we know, tomorrow they're going to forget they've done it at all. But in this moment, they feel so good. And their anxiety plummets. Maybe that's the initial setup, the first successful budget meeting. We'll talk about what makes a successful budget meeting with alliteration. Then anxiety continues to drop, and this is the yeah buddy section. This is like, yeah, this is working. I'm checking it on my phone when needed. I'm doing my budget meeting. We were paid twice a month, so we're doing the budget meeting twice a month. Things are clicking. We're showing that we can stick to a budget. We're also rolling with the punches as needed. We even had our first larger bill that we'd been setting money aside for, breaking it up into a smaller monthly amount, and paid that. So you're feeling like nothing's going to get you down. This is the yeah buddy section, and it takes a little more frequency. You're interacting with your budget with your phone and things like that. You're checking it a little bit. It's productive though, and your anxiety continues to drop. And then we hit this asymptote where you actually don't really improve anymore. Your anxiety doesn't drop. This level of anxiety is because you're not financially independent, maybe. But talking to people that are, they still claim, and I believe them, that there's anxiety. I talked with a friend of mine that sold a business, made lots of money. His stress went up. So take that for what it's worth. And let's call it, this is like the line, like, are you alive? If you're alive, we're probably not getting that line any lower. Do you have kids? You know what I'm saying? So if you keep just going with the budget, checking it all the time like Facebook, and you're so far this direction, this is the my family and friends don't talk to me section. This is the spot where you're fiddling with the budget, you're talking about it all the time, you're looking at it for really no good reason, you're maybe kind of addicted to it, and you start talking about it with your friends and family, and you're asking, do you want to see my budget? It's weird, and so you don't want to go here. No gains here. So find the sweet spot somewhere in here with frequency of interactions with your budget. Big one, again, budget meeting. Finite, it's got to end. You got to know it's going to end. Keep it short. It's got to be focused. a lot of your categories, they're probably the same every month. So don't sit there and debate. We've talked about this once a year, maybe kind of have a big teardown where it's like, okay, everything's on the table. We can question all our spending. Should we feed each other? You know, should we buy food? Should we live in a home? Everything's on the table, right? That happens once a year. It's healthy. It's fun. And that brings me to my third point. I didn't even plan that, not scripted. Fun. Budget meeting can be fun. Try and make it fun. Eat some ice cream while you're doing it. Some really good ice cream. So just make it fun. Now, the budget touch with your phone. It's something quick, right? You don't just sit there just scrolling through your categories looking for green like it's a game. Some people think it's a game. Maybe it's a little bit of a game for you. But with the budget touch, you're doing it in context. You're at the hardware store working on this DIY project and you want to know how much you have to spend in the DIY category. That's context. Information in context is powerful. You have a cause to look at it. You ever pulled out your phone and then you are doing something on it and you realize you were not doing the thing you originally intended and you can't even remember why you pulled it out? Guilty. There's got to be a cause. Why are you pulling out? Why are you looking at it? Why are you caring right now? Maybe I should have put caring. And then I violated spelling and I kept it quick. So you pull it up, you see what's in the DIY category, it's quick, you're done, you make your decision and you move along. Those tiny little decisions make a difference in the grand scheme of things as you're reaching these bigger goals that you have. But the actual interaction is just a touch, just quick. So keep it that way. Don't think that the more you drag around your categories, the more you move $10 from here to there, don't think that that's necessarily lowering your anxiety. You're probably just giving all of your friends and family a little bit of anxiety. They're worried about you. They want you back, you know? Want you back like right here, the yeah buddy area. So keep that in mind as you're interacting. Remember, budget meeting, finite, focused, fun, okay? Just mix it up a little bit. Have a good time with it. If you're sharing finances, always you're doing this part together. You're making the decisions together, not the reconciling necessarily, not like any balancing of a bank account or anything like that. That doesn't necessarily have to be together. But decision making, like her priorities, my priorities, our priorities, those three sets, those are important. So I'll see you guys next week. Hope that helped.